also Sennah. Anybody heard Sennah? Who's Sennah? Why is Sennah so important? So Sennah was actually one of the tribes. You can see it spelled Senaah as well, or Hasena, right? It means thorny, right? And it's the ancestors of the family who returned from exile with Zerubbabel. So remember when the temple was destroyed, they got sent to Babylon, and now they're coming back, right? And Zerubbabel was the one that rebuilt the second temple. So on their way back, there was these people of Sennah, and you can see how they were present there, right? So what's the word? Sennah. So some of the game got trivia, so hope y'all listen. So Sennah. I'm saying that for a reason, right? Sennah. All right, next. Who are these Sennah people? Why do people in Africa call Sennah? Who are the Sennah tribe? And then Mozambique. My wife tell you about dreams she had about Mozambique before she even heard of the country named Mozambique. Which is amazing. But Mozambique got the Sennah people. And the Sennah people are connected to another people. So let's go to the next. So you can see here that this is the Oxford Bible Atlas, right? And it talks about, some people online here. So you can see here it talks about the Maccabean revolt. So who are the Maccabees? The people, right? Hanukkah. That's what it's called, right? The hammer, right? They also call the Hasmonean, right? So it's talking about this period of time where these people were living during that time of, what we call the Feast of Hanukkah, during that time. All right, next, it's important. What's that say? Sennah. Judah. Jerusalem. You see some of the things in the Bible, right? Jericho. You see where it's connected, right? Interesting, right? So next slide. So this is in some of the historian things you can see from Barnes and Noble. I don't know if you heard the Tudor Prophet and stuff like that. But it says, and as he talks about Isaiah 4, well, this book talks about Isaiah 14. It says, after the exile, intimate connections took place between the Jews and the Moabites by marriages. So that's Ezra, during that time, Nehemiah. These marriages, however, were dissolved by Ezra as being, in his view, contrary to the law of Moses. In the time of Maccabees, little mention is made of them, but Josephus mentions them in the history of the Alexander of Janus, Hasbon, and Nadaba, and you heard of the Lemba tribe? Yeah. Interesting. Lemba and Sena are the same tribe. Same tribe of people. And Ornas, and a lot of words I can't say, and Jews, after that, their name is lost under that of the Arabians as of the river Arnon bore the name of Karak. From the cities of the name, compared to note on the country of the Amorites, compared to notes as Isaiah, the territory north of Arnon, named Belka, which includes also the country of the Amorites. So it's important because during that time, the women, they wouldn't give up their women. I don't know if y'all know the story in the Bible when they came back and they said, you need to give up your foreign women. They said, no, we're going to stay with them. They got exiled. That's the Lemba. That's the Lemba tribe. That's what their traditions say. That's their own story. So they wouldn't go live with, during the time of the Moabites, they were there. And then the time of the Amorites, I think that's when they actually got pushed out. All right, so it's important to understand, because next, just Google Lemba on your phone now. Go to Google, type Lemba, it'll come up in Israel. Elder showed me this. Our elder. So, till today, I don't know something they put up, who put that up there, but you just go to Google, put Lemba tribe. Especially in Jordan, you'll see Lemba pop up as well. All right, so next. And as you can actually see that this is an ancient map during the time of the Maccabean period of Hanukkah. And you can see there's Judea, and what's it say? City called Lemba. So they say they migrated from Sena. And then later on, the historian found a city called Lemba, but they say, Sena, they couldn't find. You guys can see it on the map that shows you Sena. That was during the time of the Maccabean period, right? In the land of the Moabites, current day Jordan. They say they went from Sena to a place called Sena in Yemen. So they say that's where they came from. They came from Sena, they went to Sena, then they moved to Mozambique. Then the Zimbabwe, I don't know if y'all heard of Greystone City. We're trying to get a guy to go and do a video so we can see the firsthand. spread out through the South African countries. So everywhere they went and called the place what? So next, Sennah. So you can see there's a Sennah 1 in Yemen. In Mozambique, there's a Sennah 2. That's what they call the city. Sennah 3 is Zimbabwe. You also got a Sennah 2 in Kenya. So there's some stuff between the two different ones that's in Congo versus the ones in Zimbabwe and South Africa. But there's a Sennah 2, there's Sennah 3, there's a Zimbabwe, and then Sennah 4, the Lemba-named River in South Africa. On one half is actually Zimbabwe, on the other half is South Africa, but it's called Sennah as well. So on the right hand, you can see Zimba. On the side of the bridge, on the left side, you see Sennah 4. So these people went already kept on calling these Sennah. Don't you think they'd be somehow say they came from the Bible, Jerusalem, and people were like, oh yeah, their story says, it's like, these people sitting in Africa, how would they know about Israel, Yemen, and all this stuff for all these years, hundreds of years, and not forget their story?
But how seriously can one take their oral traditions that claim they are descendants of ancient Israel who have journeyed from Jerusalem to the Yemen and then later on into Africa?
I decided to take them seriously. You know, I mean, it's difficult for our Western mind to believe those kind of things, you know, if you can't prove it. But even with proof, it's difficult for some people to believe.
Nobody believed in their story. Certainly the local Jews did not believe in their story, and most of them still do not. The whites among whom they lived didn't really believe in their story.
While there was doubt about the Lemba's claims, serious research into their practices and traditions continued. In the 1980s, their music was analyzed by Professor Margaret Nabarro, and she concluded that at some stage they had contact with the Middle East. Magda Leroux studied their cultural practices intensely for many years and concluded that they showed remarkable similarities to ancient Israel. Further indications that the Lemba indeed had contact with the Yemen, just like they had claimed, was found by Tudor Parfitt. On a trip to Yemen, he traveled with a local guide.
And I told him about my research with the Lemba and how they claim to be from a place called Sena. And he clapped his hands together and said, I know where that is. And he brought out an ancient map of the Hadramaut. And indeed, right at the end of the wadi, there was this place called Sena. So the next day, went with the Mukhtar in a jeep right to the end of the wadi. We found this place. There are still people living there. And then we discovered that a whole range of local tribal names were exactly the same as the tribal names of the Lemba.
All of the
I've always said this, that people without a knowledge of their past, of their history, are like big babies. Grown up big babies. We have to know where we came from. This is very, very important. And right now, we are at a very certain stage. A lot of people are not aware of what is happening. But there are certain people whom Adonai has chosen, whom Yah has chosen, you know, to fulfill his purpose, to go ahead with his plans. You know, like this meeting which you have initiated, it's a very, very important meeting. In the other day, I was talking to brother Jesha, that what he is doing, he might not be aware of what he's doing, but actually he is working in that department of the ingathering of the tribes of Israel. We are not lost, but we have been hidden in some places for a eschatological purpose. We have been hidden in those places.